All right, let's go. Welcome back into week 12 of the Redzone Report, the show where I bring you my best bets for the NFL and preview the upcoming week of NFL. And let me tell you, before we get started, I looked at the card at the start of the week and I was like, this is looking juicy. This is looking juicy. I am bloody keen as for week 12. And I'll be the first to admit, we had a loss last week. We had a loss, 2-4 in our best bets. Best bets have been a tiny bit shaky this season. And the props, I spoke about our 19-4 prop run that we were on at the moment. And it started so well at the start of the week with Breece Hall unders. And then we went 1-4 for the rest of the week. So we finished 2-4 for a prop. So we're still on a 21-6 prop run in the last 5 weeks, 77% clip. Absolutely unreal. And I'm looking to continue that this week with 6 more props here and 6 more best bets. Come on, baby. Let's go 12-0. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I had my NRL draw analysis for 2026 come in at the start of the week on Tuesday. We are 100 days away from the NRL season starting. I cannot wait. Yesterday, I had the Squishy Sports Report. I analyzed and reviewed so many sports from around the world that is happening at the moment. All your latest sporting news. Had our Women's Player of the Week. We had updates on the rugby internationals. We had updates in cricket, updates in tennis, updates in darts, updates in golf. We had updates in NBA and NHL. It's all happening here on the Squishy Sports podcast at the moment. And I am here to bring you the Redzone Report for week 12. Let's get into it, where I bring you my interesting games of the week, my 6 best bets, 6 player props, along with my rapid rundown where I give you my lean for the other, I believe it's 8 games for the week with 4 teams on the bye. My SuperCoach update, who should you trade in, who should you trade out? We'll find out, give you how I'm going for the season, give you a hot tip. It could be going better. And we'll finish off with our Survivor pick. Even though we died about 6 weeks ago, I'm still giving you my Survivor pick each week. We're still going strong with the Texans last week. And I'll finish it off with my multi for the week and my Hail Mary 2+ touchdown 3-leg parlay. Let's get into it. All right, so I do not have a best bet for the Thursday night football game this week. We have been cashing on those. We cashed a prop last week, and then feels like every week we are cashing some sort of bet on these games, and it's unreal. Get to sit down, prime time, watch it. Nothing for this week. I do have a prop though, so keep eyes and ears listening for that one there. But we're going to start in the early slate on Monday morning here in Australia. No more international games, thank God, because, I mean, we've had 2 overtime games the last 2, but they haven't been that entertaining, all honesty, but it's all right. We'll move along. We're back to normal scheduling, and we've got one of the games of the week, in my opinion, the 8-2 Indianapolis Colts with Daniel Jones heading to Arrowhead against the 5-5 Chiefs, who are in danger of potentially missing the playoffs this year. Looks like they will not be winning the AFC West this year. And then they are now a 3-point favorite at home with a total of 49.5 in this one here. And my analysis for this game here is essentially, look, it's nice and simple. Kansas City have to win this game, essentially. They have to win if they're any chance of playoff hopes, I reckon. They can definitely win out. They can go finish 12-5. They'll make the playoffs from there. But I think at worst, they have to finish 10-7. It's a must-win game at home as well, off back-to-back losses. Mahomes, this is the 6th time he has suffered back-to-back losses in his career in the NFL. Those other 5 times, 4-0-1 ATS. He has won all 5 of those games. Had 1 push in there, all covered the spread in the other 4 there. This is a great spot for Kansas City off that division loss against the Broncos there. Colts, they are coming off a bye, but they are coming off a long travel journey from Germany. Are they a little bit fat and sassy, 8-2? You know, is Daniel Jones going to be playing as good as what we think, potentially, as he was at the start of the season? This is the start of a torturous run for the Colts. I think they start this torturous run with an L, with a loss. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes to go in home and cover the spread of -3. It's in that win and cover range, essentially. I think at worst, they get a push here. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, Kansas City Chiefs -3 for your first best bet. All right, crossing over to bet numero dos, and that is the New England Patriots, the red hot New England Patriots, 9-2. Who would have thought? Heading over to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are still without Joe Burrow. He may be back for Thanksgiving next week. And New England is a huge favorite in this one here. 8.5 in this one here. Total of 49.5. We have seen movement for the Patriots this week from -7. And look, I could just be sort of easy and a bit square and just sort of take the Patriots to sort of cover the spread. But, you know, they had that primetime sort of win last week. They've had the mini bye. The Bengals, Joe Flacco last week had a pretty treacherous game against the Steelers. Look, they could be up for this one, needing to sort of win to keep their season hopes alive by a little skinny bit with Burrow looming ahead to Thanksgiving next week. But this Cincinnati defense, man, I thought off the bye, I was slightly optimistic about it, and I'll put my hand up. I was wrong. It is horrible. It still conceded another 25 points. Obviously, I had a pick 6 to Steelers last week. This Pats defense is average, I think. I think it's okay, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they made, like, the Jets, it was the Jets last week. Like, the Jets were never really scoring against them. They ran the ball pretty darn well, I thought, the Jets last week with Justin Fields. But if they get a better passing game Cincinnati, I think they can have some success against Patriots. I like the over in this game. And you might be thinking, Squishy, no Jamar Chase. That's such a key loss. I'm not fast. It's just one wide receiver. I get it. He's a top 5 receiver in the game. T. Higgins is still there. I have so much belief in T. Higgins. And if the Bengals are in a chase situation, I think they're going to be able to throw the ball a lot with Flacco. I think Patriots can easily put up 30+, their contribution for this one. And it's just relying on Cincinnati to, I think, at least just score 2 touchdowns, at least score 14, because I think the Pats can easily score 30 to 35 in this game here. This game, the Cincinnati home games this year are 5-1 to the over, I believe. There's the last home game was in the 80s against the Bears. The last home game before that was in the 60s against the Jets. Like, a game with it against the Jets in the 60s, and now you got the Patriots coming to town. Come on, man. Over 49.5. Patriots at the Bengals. All right. Crossing over to bet number 3. And honestly, I love all 6 of these this week, right? But I think this is probably taking the cake for me this week. And that is Big Blue. New York Giants heading to lighter blue. Ocean blue. Detroit Lions off that loss against Philly in primetime there. This is also in the first late Monday morning here, so the Lions are a 10.5 point favorite, total of 49.5. Haven't seen sort of too much movement with this game so far this week. I can't imagine this is going to be one of the biggest bet games of the week, hence sort of no movement, but I have been on this Redzone Report multiple times this year, Lions off a loss, and I've been on the Lions, and they just cash. You know why? Because Dan Campbell, the coach, I think he's 13-0 against the spread off a loss since he has become coach of the Lions. This team off a loss just seems to sort of really lock in just really well and just get the job done. This year, week 1, they lost against the Packers. They got flogged 27-13. They come back the next week against the Bears and put a 50 burger on them. And then they lose to the Vikings, I believe, 27-24. Week after that, they play the Buccaneers at home in primetime. There's a bit of a trend here. They score only 24, but they cover the spread. They only conceded 9 that game. Now you got a Giants team that is, 3-7 now. They're not looking good. I think Jackson Dart may be back. I'm not fast. I am fading this Giants defense, and I'm going with the Lions offense here. I'm continuing this trend. I was going to back it to the hill. And that is Lions over 3.5 touchdowns in this one here. I'm going to go one bigger. I am taking alts in this game. Over 4.5 touchdowns and over 5.5 touchdowns at $7. For them, I think if they score 40, they can score 40 plus against this defense easily, in my opinion. Jahmyr Gibbs will have a fucking field day against this Giants run defense. They can't stop shit. I was on Josh Jacobs as a prop last week, and he was cruising until he got injured at MetLife, which is just not a surprise. In comes Emmanuel Wilson, and he just absolutely tears it apart. The RB2 just ripped it apart for the Packers against this Giants defense. This Giants defense is such a fade this year. The run defense, I was on Swift a couple weeks ago. I feel like I've really faded them the last few weeks, and it's been paying off. Apart from last week, bad beat. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have an absolute field day. I will be on him as a player prop. Spoiler alert. But Lions will absolutely pound the Giants in this one. Get back on track with a win heading into Thanksgiving next week. Lions over 3.5 touchdowns, over 4.5 touchdowns, and over 5.5 touchdowns this week. All right, halfway through our best bets for the Redzone Report in week 12. And we are now into the second slate of games here, starting off 7 a.m. here in Queensland, Australia. And we've got Duval, the Jacksonville Jaguars, heading to the Red Sea, Arizona Cardinals. Jags coming off a brilliant blowout win at home against the Chargers. A pretty dominant win in that one there. What was it? Sort of 35-6, I think it was. Arizona coming off a bit of a hammering. Jacoby Brissett sent an NFL record for a way number complete. I think it was 43 completions, something absurd, threw over 400 yards. Jags are now a 2.5 point favorite with a total of 47.5. This over has been steamed from 45.5 at the start of the week, and I am backing that one there. I am taking it. This game is going well over, in my opinion. I still do not rate this Jaguars defense. I get it. They kept the Chargers to no touchdowns last week. This Jags offense should have some success against Arizona defense, considering 49ers put up 40 plus against them last week. Have Arizona sort of hit the season over button? I think it's pretty bloody close. However, this Arizona team chasing can put up some points, and they do have some success on offense. They still put up, was it 24 last week against San Fran? Week before that against Dallas, they put up 30. They have some success on offense. Once they get it going, I believe Marvin Harrison will be back. But in steps last week, Michael Wilson anyway with, 180 yards or something absurd, 10 receptions. They still got Trey McBride. He went over 100 last week. If they keep to that, this game will go in the 60s, in my opinion. I can see this going flying over. Give me the over 47.5. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Arizona Cardinals. More. Heading into another game in the second slate. Oh, this is a good game this week. Good game after Dallas's prime time win on Monday Night Football. NFC East showdown. Philadelphia Eagles off their primetime win against Detroit, heading into Dallas. So this was our season opener this year, where I think it was 21-20 at halftime to Philadelphia, and it finished 24-20, 3 points in the second half. I won't forget it. I was on Philly over 24.5 team total. Brutal beat there. They were a 7-point favorite. Now, it's now flipped, obviously, to Dallas. So, obviously, Dallas' home stadium. They're now a 3.5 point favorite, which I think the line is pretty about right there. This total has been steamed under. Opened 50.5 at the start of the week. It is now 47.5. And I get it, it's dropped 3 points, but I still like this under. This Eagles defense with Jalen Phillips, with Jalen Carter, is absolutely destroying teams at the moment. They literally kept the Lions to 1 touchdown last week, 9 points. The week before that, they absolutely condensed the Packers. What was that, to 10 points, I believe, or even 7 points, sorry. This Eagles defense is absolutely flying at the moment. And you know what? This Dallas defense is not as bad as what it was 4 weeks ago. Not even as bad as what it was before the bye. They've obviously got Quinton Williams in there now. He absolutely kicked ass against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. And I think this Dallas defense, with what has happened, the tragedy in the last couple of weeks, I think they'll really want to take it to the next level in the finishing season. And really sort of improve. And I think they can shut down this Eagles offense. This Eagles offense, lucky they've got a good defense because the offense is hardly doing anything at the moment. Jalen Hurts is hardly moving the ball. Saquon Barkley is not the same Saquon Barkley that we saw last year. And they're just struggling to move the ball, you know. Couple touchdowns last week against the Lions. They only had one the week before against the Packers. This Eagles offense is really struggling at the moment. I just think a division showdown, Dallas will want their revenge. They'll be able to get after Eagles a little bit here, and this Eagles defense is flying. I can see this being a low contested point game, just like the Eagles games have been recently. I like the under 47.5 this one here. Bet number 5 for the Redzone Report. Crossing over to our last bet of the Redzone Report, and that is my Carolina Panthers behind me. Number jersey 14 there. It's not a Sam Darnold jersey. It has got my name on the back, actually. My Carolina Panthers. Hashtag keep pounding. Heading to the faithful to the Bay. San Francisco 49ers. I said off their win against Arizona division matchup. They've got Purdy back. They've got Ricky Pearsall back. CMC is looking hot at the moment. Jaron Jennings getting better. George Kittle's getting better. Now we've got a prime time showdown in this one here. First prime time game for the Panthers this year. Cannot bloody wait. Monday Night Football. This should be a very fun game. And if you've watched the Redzone Report of late, I think you know where I'm going with this one here. So San Fran are on the border of 6.5 to a 7-point favorite, which I think is a bit too high, but it's not where I'm going. Total of 48.5. And we have seen a tiny bit of movement to this over as well. And you guessed it. That's exactly where I am going for this week. Once again, blindly betting San Francisco overs at the moment. And they are cashing. I think it's the last 3 weeks their games have gone way over since Fred Warner got injured. And another linebacker got injured. The first game went under, right? It was prime time against Atlanta. Then they played the Giants. Went way over. Then they played the Rams in week 10, way over. Then they played Arizona last week, way over. These games are going in the 60s, absolutely way over at the moment. And you're still giving me a San Francisco total in the 40s. I will keep betting these overs until they're in the 50s. And even then, I might still hit it. Bryce Young, my boy, coming off a franchise record 448 pass yard game. He's got his confidence up at the moment. Has the offense started clicking? McMillan, my boy, has had his breakout game, the rookie. 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 138 receiving yards. So good to see. But we hardly even ran the ball very well last week. I get it, we were chasing, but I think we can have some success running the ball in this one. CMC against his older team will want to show up for this one here. This is going to be a fun one, I think. I can see this, again, going easily into the 50s, potentially into the 60s. Panthers defense was slightly worrisome last week, got a bit better in the second half. I think San Fran can put up their fair share of contribution. I think Carolina, my boys, can put up their fair share of contribution as well. Over 48.5 here for your last bet of week 12. Give me overs in this one here. More. All right, that will do it for the best bets in week 12. Let's cross over to the rapid rundown. So the rapid rundown is where I cover the other 8 games pretty much as quick as possible, giving you my slight lean on the game or even potentially no lean in the game. Slight lean, just not enough for me to get to the window in this one here. If I am very close to getting to the window, I'll definitely let you know. But rapid rundown, cover the 8 games generally as fast as I can. Let's bloody go. Bills at Texans. Thursday Night Football. Texans plus a 6-point dog. Total of 43.5. I do lean the Texans in this one here. Josh Allen struggles against a good defense. Vikings at the Packers. Packers 6.5-point favorite. Total of just 40.5 in this one. I do have a slight lean to the Vikings. This one here, not absolute favorite at all. Could go either way. Get right spot for Packers potentially. Jets at the Ravens. Oh, gross. 13.5-point favorite. The Ravens. Total of 44.5. I don't want any part of this one here. I have a future on Ravens winning the AFC North. Just happy to see them win and get out. Steelers at the Bears, the high-flying Bears, 2.5-point favorites, total of 45. I lean overs in this one here. I don't rate both defenses whatsoever. The only thing that would stop this is weather, which I had not checked. So check it before you bet the over. Seahawks at the Titans. Titans are 13.5-point home dog, which is just ridiculous. Total of 40.5. I still can't back the Titans in this one here. I can only back Seattle, and I can only back the under here. How are the Titans scoring in this game here? Falcons at the Saints. Saints 1.5-point favorite, total of 39.5. Captain Kirk Cousins steps in for the rest of the season for Atlanta, who have lost 5 in a row. And I think it could potentially be 6. Saints off the bye. Saints, they've got a bit of courage to play for. You know what I mean? Tyler Shuck, bit of stuff to play for. Falcons in the bin. Lean the Saints in this one here. Browns at the Raiders. Shedeur Sanders making his starting debut. Raiders are a 3.5-point favorite. Total of 36. I don't want any part of this game. I have no idea why the Raiders should be a 3.5-point favorite in any game ever. This could finish, honestly, like 10-7. Like, I just don't understand how any person is scoring in this game here, any team. Browns defense is pretty elite, but Shedeur Sanders, I don't know how he'll go. I just don't want any part of it. And Sunday Night Football, cracking game this one here. Bucks heading to the Rams, who are a 6.5-point favorite at home. Total of 49.5. I do have a lean to the Bucks. I'd probably want +7. They're due definitely a bounce back spot. I think they've lost their last 4 out of 5, I believe. For me personally, I'd love to see the Rams win that one and my boys beat the 49ers, and then we go top of the NFC South. That would just be electric. 4 teams on the bye: the LA Chargers, Miami Dolphins, Washington Commanders, and the Denver Broncos. All right, heading into my favorite segment of the week, and we are continuing hot. I want to continue hot. It was one little negative week, but we're going to bounce back. My player props for this week, coming at you with another 6 player props. I have studied the board. I think we have got some bangers lined up this week. We're going to go Thursday Night Football. Got to have a bet for this game here. Josh Allen, under 224.5 pass yards. Main reason for this one is ever since week 1. So Matthew Stafford went over this in week 1 against Texans. Ever since then, every quarterback against this Texans defense has gone under this number here. Josh Allen has sort of struggled against good pass defenses this year, good pass rushers. And I just think this Texans defense is honestly top 3 in the league, maybe. I think it's absolutely awesome. Best pass DVOA, I believe, in the league at the moment. And I just think if they're in a lead sort of situation, they just sort of run the ball out if they can. Like Josh Allen, under 224.5 pass yards. Next one here. Honestly, look, I could jump on here next week and be like, and put my hand up and say I was wrong, but this just feels like giving free candy to a kid, and I'm the kid. Jackson Smith Najikba is at 88.5 receiving yards this week. The market has settled last week. He has been opening at 100.5. He hit overs last week against this Rams defense. I get it. There's a chance he can go off at halftime or after 3 quarters and they might not feed him the ball. But him at 88.5 receiving yards, are you kidding me? There is a chance he can hit this easily in the first half. Easily. Like he had, 81, I believe, against Arizona in the first quarter. Finished on 93. He has not gone under this number, I think, all season. He has been unreal. The best receiver in the league, and you're giving me 88.5. You're having a laugh. Smith-Njigba is going to absolutely tear this Titans secondary a new one. An absolute new one. As I said, it feels like you're just giving free candy to a kid. I'm the kid. Give me all the candy. Give me all the candy. I'm the candy. I want all the candy. Jackson Smith-Njigba, over 88.5 receiving yards in here. This is me. I want it. Absolute joke of a line. All right, next one here. We played this last week, and this flew way over. He nearly doubled his prop total, and that is Jacoby Brissett over 238.5 pass yards. And they're just feeding Jacoby at the moment. They're not running the ball at all. I think this game goes way overs. If Arizona is in a chasing position like they have the last couple of weeks, he should go over. I'm pretty sure he's gone over this number every start he's had this season, and you're still hanging in number at 238.5. I just don't get it. And you know what? This number I put on the Redzone Report was 244.5 last week. It closed at 223.5. Neg CLV to the absolute moon. Marvin Harrison was out. He should be in this week. How does this go under? I just don't understand. Again, free candy. It's just free candy, it feels like sometimes here. Jacoby Brissett over 238.5 pass yards. Fourth player prop for this week. Spoke about him before and is, yes, Jahmyr Gibbs over 78.5 rush yards. I didn't have the available line for his scrimmage yards yet of rushing and receiving, but I do like that as well. Whatever that opens up, I'd say it'd be like 125 or something. He is going to absolutely tear this Giants defense a new one, absolute new one. And this Giants run defense is so worrisome. The Packers easily ran for close to 150 rush yards last week. This Lions offense is going to easily stroll down the field this week here. I can't see them maybe passing to like St. Brown and Williams, I can just see them feeding Jahmyr Gibbs and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jahmyr Gibbs all bloody game. I don't know whether to take him off after 3 quarters, but I think he could literally hit this in the first half if he wants to. Jahmyr Gibbs over 78.5 rush yards. A guy that's talented, a guy that's fast should absolutely tear this Giants defense a new one on home soil. Next one here, and that is one of the MVP favorites. Yes, call me square, I don't care. Drake May over 246.5 pass yards. I don't have to explain myself, surely, in this one. This Cincinnati defense is an absolute fade of the city century at the moment. It is just shocking. I get it. Patriots might be in a position where they might just have to run the ball out, and he might not pass it for the last quarter. But he could honestly hit this before the last quarter even starts. Like, Aaron Rodgers gets injured halfway through the game last week, right? In steps Mason Rudolph, a backup quarterback, and they still threw for, as a team, nearly 240 pass yards. With a backup quarterback, he had like 120 pass yards in the second half, and they were leading by a margin. Now you're giving me one of the MVP favorites who wants to win MVP and is going to continue putting statements on games at 246.5 pass yards. Bruh, what are these lines? I just don't get it. Drake May over 246.5 pass yards. Yes, bloody please. And the last one here, I'm just going to fade this guy because this guy had an absolute shocker last week, and I just don't see how he's going to be able to run the ball or this team. Ashton Jonty, poor guy, poor bloke in his rookie season, had an absolute nightmare game against Dallas. He had, 6 runs for 7 yards against Dallas on Monday Night Football. 6 carries, 7 yards. Had a safety in there as well. He went backwards. And now you're setting us at 57.5 rush yards against the best run DVOA in the league. Come on, guys. Come on. Are we really doing this? I get it. Ashton Jonty, he's had games where he's gone over this total. I get it. He was 66.5 last week. I get it. They may have adjusted. I don't think they've adjusted enough against this Browns defense. This Raiders O-line is trash. It's trash. It's so bad. How's Ashton Jonty going to run this against Myles Garrett? What? How is he going to run the ball against Myles Garrett? You tell me. Come on, tell me. I don't see it. And if they're ever in a position where they're sort of behind or anything, they're not going to run. I just don't see how they have success running the ball. Ashton Jonty, under 57.5 rush yards. Bang. Unders. Give it to me. I love these 6 props this week. Probably dead now. Probably just jinxed it. But, man, it just feels like free kid to a candy. Free candy to a kid. And I'm the kid. Absolute love it this week. Let's effing go. Tom Brady style. All right, that is my player props for the week there. Crossing over to some SuperCoach chat, and I will be the first one to say I'm still not having a good season. I'm top 16%. I'm not happy whatsoever. Scored 527, and I had green arrows. I missed out on some points, so went up about 500 spots. I'm sitting inside the top 6K. I traded out McMillan, which was just, hey, whatever. And I put the VC on Henderson, just like we spoke about last week. And he had 59 points. And I was like, sweet. How bloody good. Had the captaincy on Josh Allen. I was like, you know what? I'll loop it. Take it. Just take the points. Josh Allen goes off for about 92 points or something. Six touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing. And just, yeah, that's another sort of 35 points lost there. Then I decided to play the Patriots defense over the Steelers defense. Just thinking, you know what, Patriots against the Jets, Steelers against Cincinnati. Joe Flacco throws a pick 6. Another 30 points missed out there. So I could have gone a really good week last week, and it just turned out to be average. And that's sort of how the season is going. So last week, as I said, ended up trading McMillan and Justin Jefferson out, which I don't mind trading Justin Jefferson out. Ended up getting Ibuka and Odunze in. Ibuka just did nothing against the Bills, unfortunately. Hate to see it. In the top 3 traded in and out this week, Puka, George Pickens, and Trey McBride are the hot 3 getting traded in this week, which I can kind of see. Like, I've got Puka. I haven't got George Pickens. I've got CDs. There's no point having both, in my opinion. He's had his one good game in primetime. I get it. And Trey McBride, I can definitely understand. Top 3 getting traded out. Drake London, I don't understand. He had 100 receiving yards in the first half last week. Jamar Chase, he's suspended. I wouldn't be trading him out. You've got Joe Burrow coming back next week, potentially, if not the week after. That's his number 1 guy to go to. I would not be trading Jamar Chase out. And I would be trading this guy out because I just spoke about his unders, Ashton Jonty. Obviously, he's generally a guy who's not going to be playing every single week. But if you can get someone else in, you know, like a Kenneth Gainwell, maybe a Sean Tucker, even though Bucky Irvin's coming back pretty soon, I would be looking at that. In terms of your break-evens this week, the lowest break-evens for the week, again, Trayvon Henderson has still a low break-even. Got plenty of cash to make, minus 47 break-even. Davis Mills, off a really solid game, I guess, against Tennessee, and then a good game against Jacksonville the week before. His break-even is minus 38, and then you got Sean Tucker, who I own in fantasy and won me my fantasy match last week against my good mate. Shout out to him. Minus 27 break even. Not an owner, but happy owner in fantasy, that is for sure. In terms of high break evens this week, we've got a few high ones. A lot of quarterbacks that are high off disappointing performances. Justin Herbert, 85 break even. Lamar Jackson, 79 break even. Mahomes, 78 break even. And Bo Nix, 75 break even. Looking at who I potentially am trading out, I am boosting because I had 13 trades and 3 boosts left with literally like 6 weeks to go left of SuperCoach, so I do need to start using these trades. I am trading out Colston Loveland. I am trading out Saquon Barkley, and I'm trading out Jackson Dart. I have spoken about for a few weeks now. I'm looking to get Lamar in as soon as he drops in cash. I get it. His break even is still 79. But it's time for me. I think he's going to be able to dominate this Jets defense. I think he could potentially have a really good game and absolutely torch them. He is due to have an absolute awesome game. I don't want to miss out. I think Jackson Dart, I'm not sure if he's playing this week. He could have a troublesome game against the Giants. Saquon Barkley is an interesting trade out for me. I get it. The name is all there, right? But he's just not performing at the level I want him to. He's just not scoring the amount of touchdowns. He's just not running the amount of yardage that we're used to seeing. I'd rather get someone in a little bit cheaper so I can try and get in Lamar. And then I'm getting in Trey McBride as well. So Trey McBride is obviously a bit of a cash upgrade from Colston Loveland. So I've now got Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, and Trey McBride, who is just a go-to guy for Jacoby Brissett at the moment. And then I'm getting Kenneth Gainwell, who's got a very low break-even. I think it's sort of minus 20 in the range there. He's pretty cheap. He's about $7 million. He's RB1 at the moment for the Steelers. So I'm getting him in and I'm boosting. So that leaves me with 10 trades left and 2 boosts left for the season. In regards to captaincy options for me this week, I'm just captaining Mahomes. There's no point in me VCing anyone. I think Mahomes is going to have a really good game this week. Potentially looking at Lamar as well against the Jets, but I just think Mahomes is his time to shine. He needs to have a good game, and I don't want to miss out. So for me, I am playing captaining Mahomes. I'm actually not playing Josh Allen this week. So obviously going with my prop pick, and I'm thinking it's going to correlate with his SuperCoach score as well. Moving on to Survivor this week, and we won, well, essentially survived last week with the Texans. I get it. I lost with the Bills 6 weeks ago. Ha, 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 ha. Whatever. I'm continuing doing it for you guys. Still haven't lost since then. I have to check my previous notes to see if I've used Seattle previously. I think I have, so I'm going to go the Ravens this week. Nice, easy one against the Jets at home. Should get the win there as 13.5 point favorites there. All right, finish off the episode. My two favorite things, the multi for the week and my Hail Mary. Multi for the week, always 5 legs, may have alternate lines, pays pretty decent odds, anywhere from 40 to 60 to 1. We have cashed one of these already this season, which does take care of us for the rest of the season, which is cool. So, multi for the week as goes. We got Kansas City Chiefs -3. Jahmyr Gibbs, 100 plus rush yards. Drake May, 250 plus passing yards. Smith the Jigba to go over 100 receiving yards, and then over 49.5 in the Jaguars in the Arizona game. This pays 56 to 1, so $10 on this returns 560 big ones. Liking this one this way. I'm pretty confident in this one here. And to cap it off, my Hail Mary in this one here. So last week we went for huge odds, right? Didn't come off. And this way I'm going for pretty big odds as well. So let's try and see if we can cash this ticket here. 3 guys, 2 plus touchdowns each for your Hail Mary. And first play is Romeo Doubs from the Packers. We had Christian Watson get 2 last week. I do like Romeo Doubs as Jordan Love's guy this week. We're going T. Higgins for Cincinnati. I get it. They may be in a losing sort of side, but no Jamar Chase. I think Joe Flacco will have to target T. Higgins. And then the last one here, Jacoby Brissett's little pony boy, Trey McBride, who is just an absolute weapon. I think he scored in his last 4 or 5 games, and I think he scores 2 this week against this Jacksonville defense. These 3 guys together pays a whopping 1,672 to 1. $10 returns $16,720. Get me to the moon, get me to Disneyland, get me to Bali, get me to Cancun, just anywhere with nice sunny weather. Let's bloody go. I am keen as let's win it this week, baby. Let's do a recap of the Redzone Report for week 12. And we had 6 best bets for you this week, starting off with the Chiefs -3. Over 49.5 in Patriots and Bengals game. We have got Detroit Lions over 3.5 touchdowns plus alts, so over 4.5, over 5.5 as well. Jaguars and Arizona over 47.5 in this one here. Philadelphia, the Eagles and Dallas Cowboys under 47.5. And then my Carolina Panthers at San Francisco 49ers over 48.5 in that one then. My player props for the week, we're going Josh Allen under 224.5 pass yards. Smith the Jigba over 88.5 receiving yards. Jacoby Brissett over 238.5 pass yards. Jahmyr Gibbs over 78.5 rush yards. Drake May over 246.5 pass yards. And Ashton Jonty under 57.5 rush yards there. My multi for the week, 5 legs, is Chiefs -3. Gibbs to go 100 plus rush yards. Drake May 250 plus pass yards. Smith the Jigba 100 plus receiving yards, and over 49.5 in Jaguars in Arizona, paying 56 to 1. $10 returns 560. And to cap it off, my Hail Mary for the week, Romeo Doubs, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, 3 players, score 2 touchdowns each. 6 pays 1,672 to 1. $10 returns $16,720. Take me to the bank, baby. Let's cash some tickets this week. Let's have a bounce back week for week 12. Thank you so much for watching. As I said at the start, make sure to give it a massive like and a subscribe to the channel. getting more subscribers every day. I really do appreciate it. Posting reels once, if not twice a day. Remember to follow all my socials at Skushy Sports, so it's at SKOOSHI Sports. All you follow for your reels, daily updates, that sort of thing. Thank you so much for watching this week. Has been the Redzone Report for week 12. I'll see you next week for another Rugby League video. This has been Skushy. Thanks for watching, and cheers.